Hello and welcome back, folks. Here we are on 2.9.11. Yeah, I think the Elite Mod might have gone to 2.9 a little bit too early for its ambitions, but there you go. We have the additional zoom out, which is, I have to be honest, really irritating me. You'll probably see why in a bit. There's a lot of fog on the outsides of the map, which causes really strange draw distance, as you can see here. And apparently some people aren't really bothered by that, but me. I don't know if it's because I've been casting games so much rather than playing. It honestly freaks me the hell out. So this is a problem, but it is a problem that can be solved eventually. It's just going to be really difficult for me casting in the meantime, because right now I've got an urge to try and move the screen to block that, but it's impossible. In fact, also because so what's happened here, if you're not aware, if you don't really follow the Elite Mod, you mostly just watch the casts and stuff, the initial zoom out is increased. So if I press backspace, this was how it used to be when you scrolled out. So the previous maximum in-game zoom is now the default, but you can scroll out further. The problem is that this obscuring fog hasn't been adjusted to account for that, so you have this horrible draw distance on the edge. And because of the additional zoom out, I actually think it might be optimal as a player to play at a bit of an angle like this, because you can see way more right now. You'd have to change the angle base of the map, which might be a bit awkward, but you know, you adjust it to the map and you get used to that. But like, look how much you can see. It is insane. So we've got a bit of like a fog of war thing going on, but yeah, you put the angle down and you get this crazy draw distance, and I don't know. Is this necessary for gameplay, do you think, to obscure like that? I mean, you can still click things, as far as I'm aware. I mean, I'm in observer mode now, so I'm not sure, but I'm gonna have to try it out in POV, but yeah, I don't know, guys. I don't like it. Hopefully the maps can be edited and these can be pushed back, at least so when you're in this default mode it doesn't affect things. Maybe it is a balance concern that you have it down like this when you're at an angle. So obviously you can see as you get lower and lower, the angle, as you lower the angle and you can see more, the fog comes down to obscure things, which is probably intentional for balancing reasons. But it obscuring your vision while you're maxed out zoom, it's a problem. Anyway, we're going to just roll with it, and I'm going to struggle. Just know that I'm here and I'm struggling, because this is like hurting my head as I cast. But we're going to try. So we got shoulder mount. It's not really shoulder mount. For those who don't know, shoulder mount is someone who was prolific in the past in the dev scene for the Elite Mod. He's back now intermittently. He's supporting where he can, but he's not playing. He is a Tyrannid player. Certainly wasn't a top player. He was fine, he was an intermediate player, but yeah, this is Piano who's trolling. I don't know why he's decided to call himself shoulder mount. I think sometimes it's better to just not question the intent of Piano. I'm getting very lucky there to, well, that Riku was getting very lucky there to have his Termagant's escape. The war boss does a massive amount of damage per swing of that chopper. Definitely would have killed that other Termagant if he could have caught him. Not ideal really using the Pain Boy heal on the war boss. Of course, that heal, its main impact is the heal over time, but it's better if you can heal multiple models, because it will amplify that heal over time per model. Another nice special attack there. War boss putting in some big work. Of course, he's got this spiky armor, which makes him very hard to kill. Gives him a lot of regen, and it's hurting the warriors as well. He's still got the stomp, I believe. Oh, does he? No, he doesn't have the stomp. He's used it because he's down in energy, but he kills a warrior model. Pretty spooky. However, Piano, he went for the Pain Boy. He's got a war boss. He doesn't have Storm Boys, so that kind of justifies going for the Barbed Strangler, because they don't have Storm Boys to jump on the Barbed Strangler and chop it to pieces with power melee. So you can now suppress the melee and control it. And of course we do see double sluggers here as well. This is the meta now. You go for 2 melee squads at the start, not 2 ranged. So having the AoE suppression from the Bow Strangler could be quite useful. That Riku's playing as the Lictor Alpha, no actual hero war gear for him yet. Certainly if he gets his weapon war gears and he gets Lone Hunter in tier 2, he should be able to actually 1v1 the war boss quite easily, which is interesting. But the sheer AoE damage potential of the war boss is higher. And then he can also do a lot of buffing things with his his banners, his accessories, buffing his units, debuffing the enemy. Looking at the economy though, Riku is quite a bit better. I wonder if he's going to go for Ravenous to really amplify the ranged build that he's got. I don't think it would be a bad idea, to be honest, when he's fighting a war boss. See here he's using that crippling poison from his termagants to control this bad boy. But he does have the enhanced custom shooter now, so he's bleeding termagant models. As long as he keeps him suppressed, he should be fine. You do see that Ard Boy's global being used in the war boss, which is why he's so tanky right now. Look at this, using his shoot 'em good to do a bit of damage onto the warriors there, and actually stun that model that has the Bow Strangler, but just stalling. Probably not worth it, really. I mean, I don't know, spending the 75 red on the Ard Boys global to just stall there, but he did stall for a while, and it meant that the Lictor was isolated and able to be taken out over here. We do see Ravenous, okay. No upgrades on the shooters yet. Generally, you do want to counter the Ravenous with shooter boys. If the sluggers can get into melee without taking any damage, then they will be pretty good against the Ravenous, but Ravenous are really quick. Their speed's 6.5, so they're... As long as you don't let the enemy get a melee charge, you can kite quite easily with your Ravenous, and as you can see, they do very good damage in ranged. Now, obviously, you've had the heal over time there on the sluggers, and now they've got range damage resistance because they're in melee. But even still, taking a fair bit of damage there from the Ravenous, they'll be a good tool to help focus down the melee, including this war boss. But a bad retreat path there for the warriors. Are they even going to get out alive? Nothing in retreat. There's a pain boy, but he didn't move them. Oh, Piano missed that opportunity. He definitely could have killed that warrior brood, I think. If he had the chip from the shooters, especially given the shooter knob has that fire on the move, 100%. I think he could have killed it. Ravener killed by the pain boy there in melee as well. Go on, pain boy. Interesting that he went for the pain boy in spite of being against the Lictor Alpha. Weird that the Lictor Alpha got a special there. Not meant to get specials unless it's the last model in the squad, so I don't know what happened there exactly. But yeah, we'll see how the pain boy does. I do think it's very good against Tyranids. It's just against the Lictor, who of course has that flesh hook to pull him in. It can be quite easy to lose your pain boy. But we'll see. We'll see how Piano can use him. It's also typical in this matchup that both players go in tier 2 at a similar time, even though Dark Riku has more units. I mean, that's just Tyranids, right? But the Orc boys will really come into their own in tier 2 once you can get the knob leaders. Hormers on the side, just doing a little bit of side capping there. Raveners are going to have to burrow out because the sluggers did catch up to them. A bit scary. What are they doing? It's a good question, isn't it? Not really clear. I guess they're trying to scout out where the orcs were before going for a gen bash. A little bit risky going for this gen bash with 2 melee squads behind them, but they've got support coming up now, so I guess they're fine. Yeah, sluggers there just retreat straight away. They were worried that they'd just get suppressed and start bleeding models and not be able to escape anywhere. The option for Piano is going to be a fast war truck. Alright. Pretty good against the Tyranids. Tyranids, as always, they struggle against fast-moving vehicles, particularly those transports, because they can shoot you whilst they're moving around with that speed. So this could be problematic. We'll see how Dark Riku responds. Of course, he's the Lictor Alpha, so he can drop down a Venom Brood if he so chooses. Do we have a burrow in the retreat path into melee? Probably could have killed the Pain Boy, but he was slow. There is also potential for a Flesh Hook, but I think it's out of range. Yeah, it's too far away. That could have been a dead Pain Boy. So the Barb Strangler are going to be suppressing the sluggers here, but with the slugger knob, they're just so damn durable. Look at them. Look at them go. Well, I don't know what these guys are doing. Are they trying to crippling poison? Wow, that was a fail. They kept trying to do it at max range and then getting out of range before they could proc it, and it was just causing them to spaz out. Well, they did force off the sluggers, which is something, but the thing is they're not bleeding. They only lost 2 models, so it's kind of negligible. No slugger knob coming in on this one yet. So, oh, now he's coming in, and as they get into the war truck, that will actually come through, will that upgrade, whilst they're in the war truck. So it's quite nice. Getting into retreat path of the Raveners. Raveners don't want to run through them in retreat path and potentially lose a model, so they burrow out and then retreat. Nice job there. Good to see him not panic reacting. A lot of people would be like, oh shit, I'm gonna get hit by melee, hit retreat. And you'd live, but you know, you're gonna lose a Ravener model for no reason. And they can be quite expensive. But there is a Venom Brood and it's gonna get rear armor shots on the War Truck. It might kill it straight away. Fire on the move, 50% accuracy, and it is just enough in this instance to kill the War Truck. Absolutely colossal fuck up there from Piano. I don't know why he drove the War Truck so close to the base. I mean, did he think he was massively ahead in tech? Unsure why you would. I don't feel like he's dominated map control. He didn't get any major gem bashes off. Strange. Strange misplay from Piano there, but that sets him back quite a lot now. And he invested so much in those knobs, and of course they'd be a lot stronger if they had the support of the War Truck. But now he doesn't, so they need to put in work, but it's going to be hard for them. Where's the Crippling Poison? Ooh! Flesh hooks the Slugger Knob. What's the Lictor Alpha doing though? He's derping around. He doesn't know if he wants to fight. He doesn't want to fight, apparently. Does not want to fight. Big heal there from the Pain Boy. Has he got his better Git Source? Yeah, he does. Stronger Git Source. That was a huge heal. This is why the Slugger Knobs are so powerful. So, when you get the Slugger Knob, it increases the HP of all the other boys in the squad as well. And the Burner's upgrade does too. So, it makes you Slugger boys actually really durable compared to what they start out the game as. And that in turn synergizes with the Painboy heal really well. Because you often will lose a lot of HP on your squad, but not actually drop any models. Painboy hunting there for a bit of a model kill. You've seen a Desiccator Lava spawn over there as well, which will cause the Painboy to take more damage from the Termagants whilst they're chasing the Thorax Swarm Barb Strangler Warrior Brood. Again, trying to shut down that Barb Strangler with the shooting good, but controlled here because he's isolated and no Storm Boys is a problem. If you have Storm Boys, of course, you just jump on the Warrior Brood with the Storm Boys and then you send your War Boss rampaging through Termagants, killing one every swing. But if the War Boss is isolated like this, it's pretty tricky. What we got going on over here? We had the Lictor attempting a fight with the Sluggers, I think because he had his Toxic Cysts, which, ooh, did we just, oh, we lost the Barb Strangler Warrior Brood. Both players doing what I was doing there, I guess, and looking at the engagements at the wrong times. Looked over here, Lictor's already dead. Looked here, Warriors are already dead. So, not a good situation there for Dark Riku, and that's kind of keeping Piano in the game, I suppose. Losses on both sides here, but Barb Strangler Warrior Brood going down is a pretty big deal, actually. He was quite an important asset, that Barb Strangler Warrior Brood. Not only is it helpful to control all the melee, especially that War Boss, which was quite annoying, but the other thing is, if Piano can get to tier 3 and start getting out some looted tanks, having the Thorax Swarm Warrior Brood would be lovely to just zone the tank, because, you know, if it gets too close, you can hit it with the Electroshock grubs. But he's not got that option anymore, so a looted tank would be very powerful, but I guess Piano thinks that's too risky, probably quite far off. With these losses though, Riku's economy is actually quite far behind. He'd be going tier 3 otherwise. So he did choose to spend 250 requisition, replace his Lictor. Again, we see the War Boss walking up on his own, isolated really bad. No ranged synapse on the Venom Brood, which is quite odd. You've got 3 ranged units here, which would benefit quite a lot from it. But nice use of the shot blocker there from Piano. Dark Riku slightly messing up his micro there, walking too close with his Termagants, getting them leashed into melee, and bleeding some models rather unnecessarily. So Lictor Alpha does have Lone Hunter, also has Toxic Cysts, so definitely would beat the Sluggers ordinarily, but if you remember that fight, they did have Use Your Choppers activated, which gives them that melee skill boost, and that's probably what got the victory for them. They proc a few specials, knock him over, it doesn't matter how much damage he does then. He's not doing any when he's on the floor, right? And he's not that tanky. He does get damage resistance from his Lone Hunter, and this armor also gives him a decent bit of max HP and a little bit of HP regen when he unleashes those cysts. But not good enough against Use Your Choppers Sluggers, so he needs to be careful about that, Dark Riku. And yeah, I was just noting, imagine if he had 250 more requisition right now, he'd be in a great spot. Dark Riku actually replaced the Warrior Brood as well, which I think is a mistake. I think he needs to be ahead in tech here. Getting out a level 1 Warrior Brood right now? I wouldn't do it. You know, like I say, the Thorax Swarm would be helpful as utility against the tank, but it certainly doesn't counter it. You don't want to be relying on that. It's just nice to have it around if a tank comes out. But you want to be in tier 3 and able to get some Karn effects out, really. Angry bits coming for the war boss, why not? Staying in play a little bit too long here. He's waiting for the angry bits, but now he doesn't even have the energy for it, I don't think. Beautiful special attack there, though. No, he's just staying until he dies, I guess. Oh, he was waiting for the energy, but yeah, that was equivalent of staying until he dies. Very, very greedy play there from Piano. I don't really understand why. And he purchased a looter, which was an interesting choice. I don't fully understand that either. Five Strangler's like a soft counter, because it can fire over line of sight blockers where the looter can't return fire. Yeah, I don't know. Weird. And then you've got Burrowing Raveners, you've got Infiltrating Lictors. It doesn't... I don't really understand the loot purchase. I do understand going tier 3 though, that makes sense. Now you just want to hit the enemy with your classic Orc tier 3 1-2, which is get a looted tank, make them get more AV. Tyranids are going to suffer regardless if they don't have a Venom Cannon Carnifex, they struggle to deal with tanks. Then you get some knobs afterwards, kill all their AV with it. So we'll see. He is losing some of his gens right now. He's actually got no gens, which is a bit of a problem for Piano. His power income's pretty lacking. Again, use your choppers and Ard Boys this time on the sluggers. But the interesting thing here is with the Scything Talons, you can use that ability that does AoE knockback, which he didn't use. Oh, he didn't have the energy. You can use that ability. Is it called Scythe or something? And it does AoE knockback, suppresses the target and a little bit of damage. But the nice thing is you can do that whilst you're on the floor, knocked over. So you can take these fights where it's risky and you could win if you don't get knocked over. And if you do get knocked over, you use that ability and hit retreat, so the enemy can't hit you, you know, in melee whilst you're retreating. And you get out safely. But he fucked up the timing there to Dark Riku because he didn't have the energy for it by the time it came in, so he shouldn't have took that fight. As soon as he's seen that User Choppers and Ard Boys dropped on the Slugger Boys, just get out of there. That's what, 175 red that Piano just invested. That could have been a nuke if he didn't invest that, you know? It's a lot of red. So just press X. You don't need to take that fight and win it. If every time the Lictor meets Sluggers on the sidelines, it causes Piano to have to spend 175 red to win that fight, then that's a great situation for you as a Tyranid player. You love that. I'm concerned for Dark Riku right now, because even though he's up tremendously on the VPs, he is really not very good in tech, and it's a problem. A looted tank's going to be an absolute pain in the arse. Remember that the Lictor is the only Tyranid hero which doesn't actually have any AV himself. All he can do is slow vehicles down and make them take more damage with one of his weapons, but he can't actually do any damage to the vehicles himself, which is not great. That has to be the plan for Piano. He needs to stop bleeding. He's actually doing quite well on power right now, but lacking the requisition. Of course, the concern for Piano right now is the VPs, which is why he's constantly sending forces up this side of the map here, putting pressure on the natural. Can he get a model kill here on the Venoms? He does. Yeah, that just holds Riku back. Looks like Riku can go tier 3. Yeah, he can. I don't know why he's waiting. He needs to hurry up and get tier 3. He's got to get a Carnifex out to counter this tank. Nice positioning there from the Warriors, just behind the Termagants. Probably would have been worthwhile trying to attack ground in that location. If you attacked ground, you could probably have hit both of them simultaneously there. And then rotated around and got some damage done. Fleshhook never able to grab the Lictor and kill it, which is interesting. I feel like I've not really seen many attempts from Dark Riku to snipe that Pain Boy, and I think the Pain Boy has actually done amazingly here for Piano. So I'm a little bit disappointed to have not seen that. I will say, I don't think the looters have done much. They've just bled, to be honest. Lictor going to take a fight here with the Sluggers. Should dominate them. Toxic Cysts. Lone Hunter buffing them as well. Maybe can kill this Slugger Knob. Let's see. Should be able to with Fleshhook as well. Go on, Fleshhook. Fleshhook. What are you doing, Riku? What the hell? That was a free Slugger Knob kill. They only had 130 HP as a squad. Fleshhook does what, 120, 130 on a single target? Can't remember if it scales with levels. I don't know if Lone Hunter makes Fleshhook do more damage as well. I feel like they do, but I'm not sure. Either way, if they had 130 on free models, that flesh definitely was killing that slugger knob. So we've got the level 3 hive coming here for Dark Riku, but the problem is the looted tank is already on the field. So this is where Piano can push back and stop this VP pressure bleed. And he needs to, because he is massively behind here. Probably better off suppressing the shooters. Yeah, because your Barb Strangler doesn't really do much damage to single targets. At least it stops these guys from hurting your Termers, while your Termers can focus down the Pain Boy. I mean, you got your Thorax Swarm there, it could walk forward, try to zone the tank, but it's not really much point. Is that dead looters? Yep. It's quite unfortunate actually, because now the looters could have actually been quite useful to deal with a Carnifex. You know, with their beamy death gun rather than their normal death gun. Again, needs to get out of here. You've got that Pain Boy healed, you've got a lot of supporting firepower here. The Lictor can't take this on. Great at 1v1 fights, but ultimately he's not that tanky. So if you've got a lot of ranged units focus firing him down, it can be a problem. But Riku's got the Carnifex coming out, so there's actually not been that big of a window here for Piano in which he had the tank out. It's interesting. I thought there would have been a bit more. But Riku keeping the pressure on. Decapping the natural there of Piano, but Piano actually caught the natural of Riku with the Warboss. Warboss rotating back to his natural, and of course Riku's going to get his own natural back with his secondary Termagant squad. A lot of natural talk there. What was that? Was that a misfire? What is going on with that tank? Guess it was a cancelled shot at the last minute. Weird. I don't know what the fuck just happened there. That might have been a bug. This is good play. He advances with the Pain Boy first, so if the Venom Brood get too close to the tank, he just ties them up in melee with the Pain Boy. And then the tank has its supporting shots. Looted tank is quite notable for having the highest damage per hit. Not DPS, because it fires very slowly, but the highest damage per hit with its cannon. It also has the highest splash damage on its cannon explosion as well, so it's brutal against infantry basically. Those hit and runs. Venom Brood extent, you just seen it there. Look how much damage that did to that Venom Brood. The sluggers intercepting from the other side. It's quite lucky there that they managed to get out. Now we do see the Venom Cannon Carnifex there, so that will be a hard counter to the tank. Easily 1v1 it. Honestly, this thing can probably, in a straight up fight, it could probably take on 2 looted tanks at the same time and win. The problem, of course, with the Carnifex is, well, 2 things. One, you can tie it up in melee. So if you send Warboss or Knobs, Knobs are a real problem. Warboss, Knobs, Sluggers, Pain Boy, any of them go into melee with it, it's going to stop them shooting. And then your tank can shoot at it while it can't shoot at the tank. So that's one problem. Though it can be a good thing, because you can go into melee and rip up Pain Boys. Apparently you just shoot them to death. The other problem with the Venom Cannon Carnifex is it can't fire while moving like a tank. So of course, if it has to turn around and walk back to base to live, you are not shooting, and the tank can just drive after you and shoot you whilst it's chasing you. So that's awkward. But that's why it's obviously balanced to be able to beat like 2 of them in an upfront fight. Did get an electro-shock grub off there. Now what you can do, while the tank's snared and not able to move much, you can hit it with your bioplasma quite easily, and it'll be hard to dodge. But unfortunately for Dark Riku there, he's a little bit out of position with his Carnifex. But we've got the Orc 1-2. The Knob Squadder here, Ardboys dropped on them, giving that 25% damage resistance. Look at the range on that Venom Cannon, hunting down the looted tank. Are we going to see a Bioplasma? It's in melee right now with the Knob Squad with Venom Brood, which is not ideal. It's focusing on this Carnifex. Probably should just go into melee with a Pain Boy on the Carnifex. No, he's going to chase it into base. Ooh, that's a brave move. Of course, bases don't heal vehicles. You need to get repairs. But one of the sluggers just ties up the Carnifex, right? It doesn't have melee resist. Wow, yeah, he went... Man, going way too deep there. The other thing is that the Venom Cannon Carnifex doesn't have melee resist, just like a tank. So you'd be surprised. It will actually take a surprising amount of damage from leveled up sluggers with their knob. Right now the Knob Squad kind of just getting controlled by the suppression from the Bar Strangler. Very little support here. The Pain Boy's too busy capping to try and heal them, but now the shooters can take over. Pain Boy goes in for his heal. This should be a nice big heal on the Knob Squad. Yeah, beautiful. Louis Tank overextended, drives straight forward into a Venom Cannon Carney and a Venom Brood. Too busy looking over here, I suppose, was Piano. Probably wants to retreat that Pain Boy, get him healed up. Maybe wants to repurchase the War Boss next. At the moment, there is only a Venom Cannon effect, so that's not really too big of a threat. It's not that powerful of a monster. It will, of course, go into melee here and do a bit of damage to the sluggers, but it's not super scary. Knobs will rip it to pieces in a melee fight. A Thornback Carnifex will be a different beast entirely, and won't be long till Dark Riku can get one of them. Be interesting. He's ahead in VP, so he might actually opt for... Oh, nice pickup on the Lictor there. He might actually opt to just go for the Carnifex, to go for the Swarm Lord instead of the Carnifex, but we'll see. Let's see. Yeah, I think getting the War Boss... Oh, I didn't realise he's already purchased the Power Claw as well, so he's going to be doing tremendous melee damage with that. You can even get the Heavy Armour in Tier 3, which will give him huge bonus to his max HP and also HP regen. It's like Spiky Armour, but on steroids, basically. I think it's about 2.5 times the max HP increase of Spiky Armour. But either way, with the Angry Bits as well, giving him the 35% extra damage after charging and the 7.5 HP regen, he's going to do big chunks to that Carnifex when he doesn't get special attacks that miss. Ooh, Carnifex needs to get out of there. He should not be turning around and fighting all this heavy melee orcs. What's he doing? Riku, no! What on earth? Terrible, terrible play from Dark Riku. What's he looking at? He's looking at the Elixir over here, probably. He's got a fight going on here, ambushing sluggers with ad boys on them. Oh, but there is a Call de Boys. I don't know if the Call de Boys was needed, but it worked out right there. Oh my god. The Hormagaunts then having to retreat through Knobs and the War Boss, getting absolutely massacred. Termagant's also suffering quite badly there. But the good thing is that Riku did manage to win the fight over here with his Lictor Alpha. Forced off the sluggers. Might want to consider getting the Menacing Visage Tier 3 War Gear. You can basically, on demand, make any unit retreat very, very, very good to counter a Knob Squad. Because by the time they come back out from retreating, it's generally off cooldown. It is an expensive war gear, about 150 requisition, 50 power or something, but definitely would be worth it when you're fighting Knobs. Again, here we go, use your choppers and ad boys. Lictor should just retreat in case they get specials. Yeah, uses that Scythe ability. What's it called? Yeah, Scythe. Gets that knockback and suppression. That gives him the opportunity to retreat away. And not before he killed a Slugger Knob as well, which is nice. But, okay, he went for another Carnifex. I was going to say, where did his money go? But yeah, he lost the Carnifex. This is his replacement Carnifex. And of course, this time it's going to be a Thornback. So that will fare way better than the Venom Cannon Carnifex, because it's got an increase in HP of 400, which is pretty damn huge. It's like, what? A bit more than, it's like 30% or something. It's huge. And then it has melee resist, and it also has that little bit of HP regen. But it's still getting beaten. It needs to get out of there. Knobs are just supreme. With this level 6 war boss, it's not easy, and of course the Pain Boy is healing those knobs, making them even stronger. If you can proc some specials with your Carnifex, it can do quite well. He didn't really get any there, which was unfortunate. And it looks like Termagants were wiped out over here by the Sluggers, too busy paying attention to the Carnifex. No Menacing Visage coming in. Right now, Riku's force is looking a little bit dilapidated. He does have a lot of red, so you could have a potential Tyrannoformation, but Tyrannoformation not really known to be the most powerful of nukes. So we shall see. Rippers. Not sure what the Rippers are meant to do. A distraction perhaps, but they're also just a free source of XP for the Orcs, and red as well. And quite frankly, the Orcs have way better things to use their red on than the Tyranids, so I don't think you want to be trading red with them. Got to use some Tyrannoformations here just to delay things. Riku's doing good on the VPs, you know, he's got him down to 33. He only needs a few more. Of course, he's putting pressure on the natural here. Has Piano seen it? No. Perhaps scouted that there was nothing there with the Rippers. served as a beautiful distraction. So we've got the knobs suppressed right now. What's coming in? We've got Without Number calling in a pair of upgraded gaunts. That was that a good special? I think that was a good special. I was looking at the gaunts. So they're trying, but this is tough, and they're going to need another few specials really to have any hope here. No specials? No, he's not fighting. He wants to disengage. I mean, he will lose if he stays in that fight for too long. What happened over here? Did something else get killed? Lictor just killed the shooter boys over there. But this Venom Brood might want to get some Death Spitters. Well, there's a looted tank coming, but he doesn't know that. But right now, the Venom Brood is basically useless. So it's just going to back off. Cap some points. Now this is where the Carn effects can do a bit better. There's been a couple of models killed on the Nob Squad, so they're now only doing 60% of the normal DPS, and you can see the difference. It's pretty big. Again, very, very tanky here, thanks to that, the help of the Pain Boy. But eventually the Nob leader of the Nobs does get taken out by the Carn effects, and the Pain Boy's going to get gobbled up as well. Ooh, Riku's going to enjoy that. Yeah, that Pain Boy did amazing this game. Lictor's trying again, but here comes Use Your Choppers. Can they proc a special? This gives them the melee skill to do it, but doesn't look like it's going to happen. Doesn't get the proc, but a looted tank comes out, so the Lictor can't finish the cap. He's got it back out of there. Here comes the rocks, easily dodged. Now the tank's probably going to rotate to this far side because it can deal with the melee Carn effects quite easily. That Carn effects not having a ranged weapon makes it very vulnerable to a tank that's faster than it. Grots have been called out. Just a cheap unit, no build time on the Grots, they come out immediately, so they've just been sent immediately to rush to this natural VP of Dark Riku. VP is becoming a problem right now, only 23 left for Piano. Carn effects needs to go back to the base and heal. Desperate throws here to try and kill the looted tank, and indeed he kills it with the Venom Brood. Very bad micro there from Piano. Wow, he's not even going to get the Venom Brood for it. Damn, I think he's thrown. Let's decap him with the Grots, but they're not going to last long when the Lictor Alpha gets on him. He gets the decap though, but nothing is decapping this, and he isn't able to cap, so he's lost. GG. Disappointing, boss. Yeah, a bit of an interesting one, that. A lot of misplays from both sides. Finally, we see a Tyranno formation at the end there. Definitely need that one a bit earlier. I think he was practically maxed out on red at that point, but he gets the win anyway, so that's cool. I just noticed these new tooltips. These are awesome. Yeah. That's really cool. Huh. Yeah, awesome. That's really cool, these tooltips. I love this. Shout out to Olev for doing all these tooltip updates. But yeah, that's the first game of the new patch, folks. I hope you enjoyed that one. Torpid signing out.